Hey everyone, welcome back to How to Be a Poser. Today's show will feature the man who's arguably the coolest dude in the galaxy. I'm talking about the Lando Calrissian 6-scale figure by Hot Toys from Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Let's get started. All right, here's Lando, still in his box, exactly the way that he's going to come to you. Comes with all the accessories that might befit a Baron of the Galactic Empire, including a DH-17 blaster pistol, an E-11 blaster rifle, a couple of different communicators, and his signature cape. Can't wait to see what I can do with all this cool stuff, so let's get rolling. All right, here's Lando, free from the confines of his own personal carbon freezing chamber, aka the box. Looking good, great portrait. It looks like him. That is pure 100% Billy D. Williams, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like when it comes to Lando, you're really going to want to pose him with his signature cape. For multiple reasons. One, he's a stylish guy, and he really does love his capes, as we found out in Solo. But look at the great detail on this thing. Show that off, because you've got dragons everywhere scattered throughout there. Just this beautiful motif repeating itself around the interior lining of the cape. So we're going to try to do this in such a way that you can actually showcase that in your display while making the man look cool. If you go out there and do a Google search, I'm going to pop these hands off really quick, for Lando Calrissian Empire Strikes Back promo photos. And what you'll get is a cornucopia of the man himself just looking really cool, mugging it for the camera while wearing this costume. And it looks, they're so great. All the characters have done this at one point or another. I think throughout all three of the original trilogy, you can find all kinds of photos of them in every single costume. And a lot of them are just really, really funny. There's some great behind the scenes stuff there too. As we've talked about with multiple figures before this, the best way to go about putting on capes, coats, cloaks, any of that, is to do it the same way that you would. Now you can see that while you don't see these straps on the cape in the film, I want to say that there was a version of the cape that featured straps. Hot Toys have chosen to go with this in order to prevent the cape from falling off of your figure, and I'm glad that they did, because most of the time you're not going to be posing the cape in a way that's going to make these straps obvious. It's one might consider it a sacrifice. I don't. I would much rather have these straps than have to deal with the cape falling off of the figure. So get those things all the way up there as you would just dressing them, as you would dress yourself. Bring those arms back into alignment, then just to bring the cape up, adjust that collar, bring it around, and let's swing that thing around here. We've got some bendability going on. I don't feel any wires, but I feel like whatever material there is inside of this is actually flexible enough that you can create pleats. So I'm not sure what they used, but it's working remarkably. In fact, I think it works better than wires. We should see more of that. All right, then we'll futz with the cape later on down the line, but for now I want to focus on getting this pose dialed in. And in the promo shots, he's just really, really hamming it up. And you can see that we have these boots just pop right off. There's a ball joint in there, and so you've got a fair degree of motion when you look at that. So all you got to do, let me just go ahead and pull this pant leg up. Pop that all the way in there and pull that pant leg all the way down. So we got a pretty solid range of motion on Lando's boots there. That's going to work to our advantage here, because what we're going to do is we're going to have him sidestepping like that. Flatten that boot out. We're going to have the gun in his hand. Okay, so you kind of see how he's got this cocky like sidestep kind of a thing here. I'm going to bend his knee, just like and then cock his hips to that side, and then compensate by bringing this in, and then torso twisting, because you know how much I love a good torso twist. And then correct that with the head. And then we're gonna get a proper hand on him for like really kind of being a bit flamboyant with that cape. Just showing it off. So we're gonna bring this down, because I like for capes to follow the path of the arm as much as they can, and then end at the elbow. So I'll be futzing with that later and trying to create some pleats right down here that are going to move this cape off to this side to kind of create a sense of movement. Is that going to stand on its own? Yes, it is, because it's a great figure, and great figures do that. Let's go ahead and get this on him. Having the wrist communicator on him has the benefit of hiding the joints. And I'm all about hiding my joints. So let's go ahead and pop that on there. And I think the way he's going to be doing it is I'm going to need to be able to bend this wrist this way. So I'm going to move that peg in the way that I need it to be before I put it onto the wrist. And let's go ahead and get it in there. Showcase that. Bring that back down. I'm going to admit this right now. It's entirely possible that I flipped this and that it's upside down. If that is, I apologize, but go ahead and correct it on your own if you happen to know that it's wrong. So let's just see this here. And I'm going to have him twisting this wrist. Let's go ahead and do that. Flip that around, rotate. Yeah. And then we can bring this around to hide the peg. There we go. And I kind of want him gripping that cape in that hand, kind of fold it right there just to create a little bit more room. Tuck that in there so that he's kind of holding onto the cape. He's really trying to show off the interior of that cape for this promo shot that he's doing. Now let's come around to the back here. And I'm gonna go ahead and move this stand over and use this to support him while I do this, because I don't want the obvious to happen and have him fall over. Just trying to use the pleats, the material in here, to just create a direction for this cape by creating more pleats. And yeah, and that should, if I did that properly, yeah, there we go. Yeah, straight up does just pull it right over. Now, I also want to try to get this guy to hide those straps if I can. So let me just go ahead and use that strap to pull the cape up and put the collar where it should be. And at the very least, we want to minimize the impact of the straps. So I don't think we're going to be able to hide them all, and that's fine. Because when he's doing this, then you're going to see them anyway. That's just natural. And wow. Yeah, that's kind of got it. Let's go ahead and bring this around here a little bit more. Bring his head up a little bit more. Get that arm out a little bit more. Kind of create some more drama for it. And I'm just going to work with the torso positioning a little bit by tilting it back this way somewhere. But I do want him leaning into it. There's like a little bit of a curve that's going on here that I kind of want to keep. Leading from this leg all the way up, and then this right here. There's also a curve that's happening here. And I kind of dig that, so I want to keep that as well. Now, I'm not trying to replicate any one particular pose that Lando hit in the promo materials. I'm just kind of trying to create the attitude that was expressed at the time. It would be fun to have him just shooting, but again, I'm thinking a lot right now about display space and trying to minimize the footprint of the figure while at the same time creating a little bit of drama, a little bit of motion. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze these pleats together just to give us a little bit less flow on this end, because I really want most of the drama to be happening on this part of the cape. And I think we've done it. I think that that's it. And I think that that's pretty remarkable. Good looking figure, man. Card player, gambler, scoundrel, you like him. When Han Solo used those words, he wasn't just describing Lando Calrissian to Princess Leia, he was also introducing him to us. This figure gives you all the tools you need to capture Lando's signature charisma and charm. And those unique blue hues and lovely golden accents on the cape are sure to elevate the style of any collection.
Did you enjoy that video? Be sure to subscribe by hitting the S icon on your screen and click the bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under product info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.